Hello, welcome everybody back to my channel, Bad Gaming. I am player 80239, and today we won't be doing any gaming. I've been watching a lot of videos on how to improve the video quality of my stream, try to improve the audio, improve the looks. Unfortunately, I got to record this off my iPhone. It works okay, but what I'm going to do today, I've been wanting to go buy a better lighting setup. Right now I have just the single overhead bulb behind me. I've also recently purchased a LED panel that you can hardwire into your house for like a top front lighting. But it doesn't really do as much as I would like it to do. I've been eyeing buying a set of Elgato Keylights for a while now, since I've started thinking of wanting to do the channel. But I really don't want to go spend the money that it takes to buy them because they're not cheap. In watching some of Harris Heller's videos, I stumbled across a link that he provided for Gal Level. I'm butcher your name, apologize, dude. I'll link to both Alpha Gaming and Gal Level in the video description for both of the videos. What Gal Level did about a year or so ago was to go make a $13 Elgato Keylight. He made his out of cardboard and it looked phenomenal for what it was. And it has a dimmer switch on it. You can change the brightness level. It's nice, but it's made out of just cardboard. I wanted to do something a little bit more robust. I wanted to do something that's going to last a little bit longer. And unfortunately, that means it's going to cost just a little bit more. Not including the tools though, however, I was able to go to Home Depot and go buy all of the parts I needed for the frame and the mount, because I'm going to use just a camera mount, as well as going on Amazon to go get the lighting itself. And I'll link the light down, the light strip that I use down in the description as well. With this lighting setup, it will allow you to change to 3 different intensity levels or 3 different light temperatures, as well as have the brightness control as well for each of those. Put that on there with the diffuser panel, and I was able to put the whole thing together for a whopping $36.65 after taxes. Let me take you along in the process on what I need to do to go make it, put it all together, and see how it works. So these are the items that I'm going to be starting with today. We have a section of 1 by 2 inch furring strip that it was broken at Home Depot, so I was able to get a discount on that. For the light diffuser, I have a section of micro prism frost glaze plexiglass. The back of the light is going to be made up of this board that they had at Home Depot. It is the chalk and dry erase marker board. It comes in 2 by 4 foot sections, and I had them chop it up into 2 18-inch by 24-inch sections, leaving a little section left over. And as you can see, it is chalkboard texture on one side, and it's a nice, bright, clean white on the other side. That should help with the reflectivity a lot. I also ended up buying a small box of screws to put it all together with. I'm going to start off by measuring, verifying the inner and outer dimensions of my frame, and using my chop saw to go cut it into a frame. As a note, I am not a professional carpenter. If you choose to go and do any of these projects, do so at your own risk. My first order of business is to get rid of this split end. The next step will be cutting the furring strip to make the frame. So you're going to need 2 24-inch sections as well as about a 17-inch section. I'll leave the exact measurements down below. You're going to need the boards to butt up against each other to look their best. And the second cut. So now that we have the 2 boards cut for the top and bottom of the frame, and I'm filming this on the black side. Obviously, you'd want to go and put this together with the frame on the white side. I just don't want to have to blind all you guys with the reflections out here in the Colorado sunshine. So first things first, I'm going to take one of the boards, going to line it up here, top edge to top edge. And what I'm going to do is put a small little clamp just to hold it in place to make sure that I keep it square, because I'm going to be drilling a couple of pilot holes in this for these screws. That way you don't splinter either furring strips, and you also don't end up splintering your little fiberboard that you have here. I have a small 5/64 inch drill bit. I'm going to be making a pilot hole right about an inch from the edge. Do the same thing on the other side. There you go. Rinse and repeat for the next side. Now, before I cut that second strip, you'll notice I used the one board to measure for the other one. I did a test fit with it to make sure that it fit nicely inside the frame on both sides. You can see there's just a slight little gap on the edge of one, and that's just because these boards aren't perfectly square. So we'll just go repeat the process of clamping it down, putting in 2 holes, and screwing it in place. As you can tell, I have a blue line marked right here. This is the width of my phone clip that I have, and that's what I'm going to use to go hold onto this board onto my tripod, so I can go use it for light. We're going to cut off this section here, and we're going to screw this to the back. That way we can hold this up on the tripod using a phone holder. Just going to take a little piece of sandpaper, knock off any of the rough edges from the cuts. There you go, just enough to round off the edges and make it not quite so sharp. So maybe you can see or not, but I made a mark right here, and that's at about 1 foot, right in the center. So what I'm going to want to do with this block is I want to have a space between the block and the frame to be able to pass the cables, where I'm going to go drill the hole. And we're going to go and drill that hole first to go make sure we can have the room to go past the cables, and we'll know that that'll be at the center of the panel. Then we'll flip it over, we'll go mark where we want our attachment block to sit, and we'll go drill and screw it into place. Oh, and to let you know, this is just a 1/2 inch hole saw bit. So now that we have our 1/2 inch hole drilled, we're going to need to figure out where we're going to mount this. And what we can do is make a mark on the dry erase board, get it set up where we want it, and then just try and 2 holes coming through about a 1/2 inch or so from the edge. Once these holes are drilled, we can put the screws in and hold it in place. So now there's just a little bit of the screws sticking out. So what we do, we'll go line it up. Just tap it in place, and there will be 2 marks that we can use to go drill our pilot holes. And there we are. So now this part is going to be a little bit tricky. I've never tried to cut plastic like this before, and we're going to try to do it with just a sharp knife and making multiple small passes, trying to get through, and hopefully we can get it to break off cleanly. Let's have some fun. Be ready to work the case. Moment of truth. Will it break? Take your time with this. Try not to rush it. The more patience you have with this, the cleaner of a cut you will make. Cleaner of a break it will be. there you have it. One small blemish, but overall, a fairly clean cut. And here we are. This is the light set that I ordered. This is the Lepro flexible LED strip light. As you see, it runs on regular 12-volt lighting. 300 individual LED lights with a length of 5 meters or 16.4 feet long. So we should be able to fill out this entire inside of the Keylight without any problem with just one pack of lights. So inside the box, it comes with obviously the roll of LED lights, thank you card, instructions how to put the battery in, the included remote that has on off, 60-second off. You can change the brightness up or down. You can change the temperature to 3 different settings from 3000, 4500, and 6000. Not sure what these 3 different modes are here. It looks like wake up, go to bed, and sleeping. I'm not sure why you'd want to have any of those, but even includes a remote control. Now is your project sufficiently held down with clamps to make sure that the plexiglass doesn't move? It's time to go drill some holes. Take the plastic off, we'll clean up the inside, and we'll get ready to attach the lights. Once you get started, make sure you have a clean surface. You can just slowly press the lights on as you pull the tape back. I find it helpful to every so often rip the tape on the back, rip that off to make it easier to control. Just stick them on, keep going all the way around and all the way across, back and forth until you run out of lights. And here we are. You'll notice I have an empty spot here in the middle. I just ran out of lights. Just needed to be a little bit smaller of a total footprint. If I would have made this a square of 18 by 18, it probably would have fit a lot better. Maybe the next one, that's what I'll try and do, since I do have enough material for a second one. And you do want to have lights on either side. That way you can balance the light coming out towards you, so you don't have one bright spot on your face and then half your face being in the dark. But let's plug it in, see if it works. And with the light diffuser on, you will see some hot spots from where the LEDs are. That is unfortunately unavoidable in a setup like this, but that should provide a decent amount of light coming through the front to be able to illuminate yourself for your videos. We are done with the project finally. I have right now just the wired into your household switch, your 120 volt LED light going on that's right above the computer desk, sitting right over here. I have the Keylight set up on the tripod, and this is right about 4 or 5 feet away from me at the moment. This light is off. Let's turn it on to 3000. Turn it on to 3000, and this is what I get. The 4500, and you can see it does a decent job of lighting you up. And 6000. There we are. And the 6000 cool blue light. Again, this is off. So you got dark shadows, you got bright on this side, and really nothing over on this side. But then turning it on. So I get decent illumination all the way around. It's not bad for, what did I say it was? $35, $36. For less than $40, you can build your own Keylight at home. Now, after having gone through everything, would I recommend you do this on your own? Absolutely. But I would change a few things. Based on the length of the lights that I have, the 5 meter strip, and as far apart as I have them set up in this light on here, I think this box is just a little bit too big for the light strip that I have. I would highly recommend cutting this in half. So you're having an 18-inch by 1 foot, so an 18-inch by 12-inch light. You can set it up on that way. You have more room to go put your lighting strip stuff in there. Another option or another revision that I would make to this box, the barrel connector for the light itself, for the light strip itself, there's a rectangle piece. It's about this big around. It's just slightly larger than the hole that I made for the light. You can't access that barrel plug when the light screen, the diffusion layer is on. What I would recommend doing is on the corner, like down here, leave a space about the width, about a half inch, about 3/4 inch to an inch of material missing out of this corner. That way you can easily reach in, plug it in, unplug it, and that way make this a little more portable. Try to make transportation a little bit easier. So there you have it. Those would be my 2 recommendations with this. And I hate taking selfies, so I'm going to cut this short. Do this project. You will thank yourself for this project. Like I said, I spent $36.65 in parts after tax out here in Colorado for the lumber, for the sheeting, and the lights from Amazon. The lights were delivered in a day, put it together one afternoon. Highly worth it. It doesn't have all of the features that Elgato will, but for less than a sixth of the price, or for right about a sixth of the price, highly worth it. Definitely jump on and go build one of these yourselves. I have been Player 80239. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next game.